The 12 Brothers. Once upon a time, there was a king who had 12 children, all boys, and he didn't want any girls. He said to the queen, "If the 13th child you give birth to is a girl, then I will have the 12 others killed. But if it's a boy, they can all live together." The queen tried to persuade him otherwise, but the king wouldn't listen. "If it's as I said," he declared, "then they must die. I would rather cut off their heads myself than have a girl among them." The queen was sad because she loved her sons dearly and didn't know how to save them. Eventually, she went to her youngest and most beloved son and told him what the king had decided. "My dearest child," she said, "you and your 11 brothers must go into the forest and not return home. One of you must always keep watch on a tree and look towards the tower here. If I give birth to a son, I will put a white flag on top of the tower. But if it's a daughter, I will put a red flag. If you see the red flag, then flee into the wide world, and may God protect you. Every night, I will pray for you, and in winter when it's cold, I will ensure that a warm fire burns in front of you. And in summer when it's hot, I will make sure you rest and sleep in a cool forest." With that, she blessed the children, and they went into the forest. They often looked towards the tower, and one of them had to sit on a tall oak tree and keep watch. Soon, a flag was raised, but it wasn't the white one, it was the red flag of blood, which meant that they were in danger. When the boys saw it, they became angry and swore to stay in the middle of the forest. They decided that if they saw a girl, they would kill her without mercy. They found a cave where the forest was the darkest, and they lived there. Every morning, 11 of them went hunting, and one had to stay home, cook, and manage the household. But every girl they met was lost without mercy. This went on for many years. At home, the little sister grew up and remained the only child. Once, she had a lot of laundry to do, and among them were 12 men's shirts. "Who are these shirts for?" asked the princess. "They're much too small for my father." Then the washerwoman told her that she had 12 brothers who had secretly left, and no one knew where they had gone because the king had wanted to have them killed. The 12 shirts belonged to these 12 brothers. The little sister was surprised that she had never heard of her 12 brothers, but when she sat on the meadow in the afternoon and bleached the laundry, she remembered the washerwoman's words. Eventually, she got up, took the 12 shirts, and went into the forest where her brothers lived. The little sister arrived at the cave where her brothers lived. 11 of them were out hunting and only one was home cooking. As soon as he saw the girl, he grabbed her and drew his sword, saying, "Kneel down, your red blood must flow this very moment." But the girl pleaded with him, saying, "Dear sir, spare my life, and I will stay with you and serve you faithfully. I will cook and keep house." It was the youngest brother who was moved by the girl's beauty and spared her life. When the 11 brothers returned home and were surprised to find a girl alive in the cave, the youngest brother told them that the girl had come to them and begged for her life, promising to serve them faithfully, and he had spared her. The other brothers thought it would be advantageous to have her around, and they were satisfied. The girl then took charge of the household, and when the brothers were out hunting, she collected wood and herbs, cooked meals, made the beds neat and clean, and did everything tirelessly and diligently. One day, when she had finished all her work, she went for a walk in the woods. She came to a spot where 12 beautiful, tall, white lilies were growing, and because she liked them so much, she picked them all. But as soon as she did, an old woman appeared before her and said, "Oh, my daughter, why did you not leave the 12 student flowers alone? Those are your 12 brothers, who have now been transformed into ravens and are lost forever." The little sister began to cry and asked if there was any way to free them. The old woman replied, "No, there is no way in the world, except for one, which is so difficult that you will not be able to accomplish it. You must remain silent for 12 whole years. If you speak even a single word, and if you are only an hour short of completing the 12 years, everything will be in vain, and your brothers will die instantly." The little sister climbed up a tall tree in the forest and started to spin, determined to sit silently for 12 years to free her brothers from a spell. One day, the king was riding through the forest on a hunt and his dog barked at the tree where the princess was sitting. The king saw her and was amazed by her beauty. He asked her if she would be his queen, but she remained silent and just nodded her head. The king climbed the tree and brought her back to his castle where they had a magnificent wedding. The princess never spoke a word, and the king believed her to be mute. However, the king's mother didn't like the queen and spread rumors that she was a common beggar who did shameful things behind his back. The king eventually believed his mother and sentenced the queen to death by burning at the stake. As the flames consumed her, the 12 years of silence ended, and 12 ravens flew down and turned into 12 handsome princes. They rescued their sister, and she spoke her first words in years, telling the king the truth about her brothers and how she had to break their curse. In the end, they punished the evil stepmother by putting her in a barrel filled with boiling oil and venomous snakes, and she died a terrible death.